Retired NFL legend back with us, balling out with the Eagles, the Commanders, Buccaneers, Rams, Raiders, and Ravens. Three-time Pro Bowler, NFL record holder, Deshaun Jackson, welcome.
I'm back again. That's a nice intro. I like the intro.
Always. We love having you. And the only way to intro you is with some insane play, so let's get to it. This was perfect yesterday. It's overtime. There's a walk-off punt return touchdown from your Ravens. From a punt return legend like yourself, break this down. Tylan Wallace.
Hey, man, when they punted him the ball, I'm like, I seen him get going. I was like, man, this looks like he can take this to the house. And then he had a few guys that kind of like dove at him. You know, a lot of times in punt returns, when I see certain guys come try to tackle, they not really trying to tackle. They just trying to make the effort look good. But it's like two dudes could have tackled him, and they ain't even like, I'm like, what are they doing? And then after that, he hit the sideline. He kept his balance. Once the last dude missed him when he dove at him, I thought he was going to get tackled. He kept his balance, and the dive in there was pretty dope too, man. I was excited punt return, man. The fourth this year or the second this year? And OT. I think it's the second, right?
I don't know. Hamilton's checking on it right now. That I don't know, but I love that you know. I love that you're keeping score and all of that because it's important to you. Listen, I got a lot of Giants on my staff here. I got a lot of Giants fans, and so I just thought we could play the Meadowlands too, because that's just like we had to, we have to. Why don't you add some info here? Relive this moment for me.
I dropped the ball on purpose. I wanted them to try to go get to the ball before me. I pick it up. You see Jason Avant, he knocked the dude out, and then from there, yeah, man, that was real bad, man. The Giants, they shouldn't have even punted the ball to me, but let Mike Tomlin talk about that.
Yeah, why did you throw the ball? Do you remember that? You're talking about Wallace jumping into the end zone. You just threw that thing way in there.
I'm mad I threw that ball. I wish I would have still had it right now.
They didn't get you the ball?
Let me see if I got it. Let me see. You know what was crazy? This is an old Ravens ball right here.
Perfect.
Nah, they didn't give me the ball. I shouldn't have threw it, man. If I would have kept it, it would have been right here, though.
Yeah, Hamilton's got a statistical update for you. What was it?
Yeah, that was the second walk-off punt return touchdown that we've seen this year. Xavier Gibson for the Jets in Week 1 against the Bills.
D-Jax likes what he sees.
Man, hey, listen, man, my boys in the house talking about it yesterday. My boys was talking about, man, all these dudes now, ending the game of punt returns. I said, yeah, the difference was I was the first one to do it in the regulation, though. They doing it in overtime. I did it in the end of regulation.
100%. I think Tylan Wallace is going to lose his mind that you're talking about his return walk-off this morning. Like, it's insane because you're such a legend at that. I want to ask you have the Ravens game ball. Lamar Jackson, he keeps proving why he's the most exciting player in the NFL. 316 pass yards, 3 touchdowns, 70 rush yards with that drive, a drive that saved the Ravens in regulation that sends them to overtime. He's currently tied for 3rd place, if you look at the odds, for MVP. He's tied with Jalen and Tua. Do you think your guy should be higher?
Honestly, I think it's fair where he's at. I mean,
okay.
They've been winning right now, but the guys kind of, it's ahead of them. It's a little bit ahead of them are doing great jobs too. But honestly, I'm very excited for Lamar this year, man. They've been my AFC team. I've been telling a lot of people I think they're going to be in the Super Bowl. I think they're going to win the Super Bowl. I hope they win it because I feel like Lamar, that's the only thing he's really missing. And I think a lot of people give him a lot of the scrutiny because for whatever reasons. But I mean, he's winning right now, man. He's playing. He's healthy. He's out there. He's putting his team in great positions to win the games. And, Ty Wallace, man, that's my boy. I was happy as heck for Ty yesterday, man, to take that punt return back. Because I don't know if you know, but he's the second-string punt returner, and Devin Duvernay was hurt, so he actually got the opportunity to step up. And it just shows you how NFL is, man. It's the next man up mentality. And, these are professional athletes, man. They work so hard to get out there and do what they do. So when they get opportunities like that, man, that doesn't go unseen, man. I'm happy for all them guys over there.
I love that you were cheering them on, and I like that the Ravens are your AFC team. It's looking very smart, especially with what the Chiefs don't look like this year.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I get a lot of Mac talk from my cousin. He's for some reason thinking that Tyreek Hill and them Miami Dolphins are going to beat him in the playoffs. But I honestly, right now, the two teams I do like, I like the Ravens, and for some reason, them Bills are hard to kind of like just forget about, man. For some reason. But we'll see. I don't know. Did they win? The Bills won yesterday, right?
The Bills won yesterday, yeah. But did you see the end? Did you see the Kadarius Toney thing?
I did, and I heard you talking about that too. I did see that, and that's just unfortunate as heck. Because that play right there, that goes down to like in history. If that play sustains, that goes down to history. That was a heck for Kelsey to see him, and like it's like he has the instincts to play in the game, and just to turn around and see him and throw it back to him and him to score. I mean that in that moment, it's like, dang. I look back at it like how as a referee, how do you call that? And I guess to go back and look at it, he was a little bit over the line, but it's just like, don't you stop that play before it goes? Like, as a referee, do you not stop that play before it goes?
I mean, you tell me. After the game, Andy Reid said, I mean, there was a lot of reports that Tony checked in with the ref.
Right.
And I mean, what do you make of that? Because there were those reports that he did that. Big Red seemed like uncharacteristically like frustrated, which makes me think that maybe he did check in with the ref.
I mean, honestly, I played the game in the position for a long time. In those moments, 9 times out of 10, a referee talks to the wide receiver. We communicate a lot throughout the game, because sometimes scoot up, back up. You know what I'm saying? It's like a thin line between. It's a gray area, right? So in that moment, I've never really seen a play be called back like that after a play is already, played out. So for that position, that's kind of tough to do that. So I'm saying this to say, like, throughout a game, these referees do talk to us a lot. So I would think that's something you talk, like the next play, or, like you'll talk to them like, man, you were straddling the line a little bit, back up or scoot up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So for that play to be called, that's just, I don't see how you can call that play, honestly, just knowing the position and knowing how you talk with the referees throughout the game.
And Mahomes was so frustrated. A lot of people are like, this is good perspective, because even Taylor Lewan came on and he goes, that's on Tony. He's off sides. Like, that's on, like, he took it away. So you'd say when it comes to the responsibility, you're saying it's more on the refs than it is on Tony.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying you talk. I'm just saying you talk a lot throughout the game with the with the referee. I mean, that's not his first time. That's not his last time going to the line and checking in. So as a wide receiver, your position. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying in any gray area, I mean, the referee talks to you. You talk back and forth. So I'm saying as a wide receiver, you definitely know to get up and check. Like, that's for sure a wide receiver's position and responsibility to go check, right? But what I'm saying is, in that gray area moment, it's been times where you're off, you're on, you need to scoot up, like you talk. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for that play to kind of, play out, and then it's like you call it. I don't know. How happy I am about that call, honestly.
Yeah, and it wipes away this legendary play. Either way, though, people can argue about this on Twitter. We'll leave it there. Either way, this offense is struggling. Like, this offense,
big time.
Right? And you can see they're really frustrated. Why? Like, I think if you called Big Red and said, "I want to come back and play," Andy would send a jet for you. I do.
And it's crazy. A lot of my family been telling me, man, that they need you. I'm like, well, if they need me, Coach Reed, I talk to Coach Reed pretty often, man, but. I mean, like I expressed to you, I think the last time I came on, I think, it's a young man's game. They're highly invested into the youth and the young. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm available, and I can still play. So, I mean, I'm here. I'm on the Kay Adams show, though. You know what I'm saying?
Would you go? Would you go? Do you think you could help this offense? Do you think you could go? Do you want to
go? Is your shirt white? Is the sweater that you have on, is it white?
Yeah.
I think you answered that question, man.
Why doesn't he? I mean, I don't know. Here's what I'm really trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out why this is so different than last year. Because you're friends with Tyreek Hill. They don't have Tyreek Hill all of last year. They somehow managed to win a Super Bowl. This year, the only real difference in the personnel is they don't have Juju Smith-Schuster. So what is the biggest difference between last year and this year?
Honestly, I just don't think they have the playmakers, and I'm not saying that the players they have are not good players. I don't think there's no one at receiver that lines up that fears you. I mean, you have Kelsey that fears you, but besides that, they don't really have no threats.
Yeah.
And I think as far as to have a quarterback like Mahomes and to not have any threats outside, I mean, defenses are not going to be worried. You know what I'm saying? You got to have people that can key on outside. And if you don't have no people that could go down the field and open up, plays for Kelsey, I mean, what do you have in the offense? So I think as far as the playmakers, you need playmakers. and they don't have him. They don't have him outside.
They need Deshaun Jackson. We know that. I will say they didn't have that last year. So I'm going to ask you this. Do you think Eric Bieniemy doesn't get enough credit from a discipline, play design standpoint because he's not there anymore? And you're seeing some of this happen.
You definitely have to credit Eric Bieniemy. I think, his insight, and that's not to take nothing away from Andy Reid, because Andy Reid is, one of the best coaches of all time. So I just think, people have exited, people have came in, and I think the people that are there now are just not cutting it. And at the end of the day, Juju played a big part last year, but I mean, Juju, he's not really having the best season this year either. So at the same time, it's like you kind of give and take what you bring to the table. So right now, their outside receivers aren't bringing anything to the table. I mean, they have a few guys that are making plays here and there, but it's a consistency game in the NFL. And if you're not consistent and you can't have players that's out there down in, down out making plays for you, it's going to be hard for the quarterback that I love to death. Patrick Mahomes is one of the I think right now he's the top quarterback in the league, and he's struggling. You see when he drives back, he doesn't really have guys that's getting open, and he's struggling. He's trying to prolong plays. He's trying to do what he's known to do. But I mean, to have Kelsey as the only guy that I can depend on, and the other guys hit and miss, that's tough, man. That's definitely tough.
Are the Chiefs the only team you'd consider going to?
No, it's a few teams I would consider going to, and right now it's heating up too. It's playoffs.
Let's
you know
hear
what
it.
I'm saying? So.
Eagles?
See, here you go.
I just want to know.
Yeah. So I would say the Eagles. I would say it's something about Miami. I still like Tua. Tua's doing his thing, even though they wouldn't need him. We
can't handle that. I cannot handle you and Tyreek on the same team.
Yeah, but I mean, it's definitely a few teams. I like Cincinnati too. Joe Burrow, they're coming back. They've been playing pretty good the last few weeks. Yeah, man.
You would go play with Jake Browning in Cincinnati, the backup quarterback?
I mean, you heard what I said. I said I like Burrow. I mean, I'm not saying that Jake Browning is not getting it done right now because they won yesterday and they won pretty good. Yeah. But it's like, I like my young boy at quarterback, and I don't know how long he's hurt for, but really ain't been thinking about what teams I like or what team I would go play with. So you kind of just put me on the spot. But
no, those are good teams. Those are good teams. I mean, you started with the Eagles. I mean, they didn't score an offensive touchdown yesterday. I think that's probably why you said that.
My Eagles are hurting my heart right now.
What is happening?
No, I'm embarrassed. Like, I lost a bet to Dez Bryant yesterday. Dez talking crazy to me. I'm like, we got our butts kicked by the 49ers. I was actually at the game. That's the game I officially retired. But it's like, man, the past 2 weeks, and it's crazy because all year long we've been being the top team, man. And it's just like the past few weeks has just been hurting my heart to see him, man. I don't know. Howie, call me. Howie, we could. I'll come out of retirement for y'all, man. Call me, Howie. God dang it.
Well, what did you make? I mean, A.J. Brown, you had Devontae Smith. They had some drops, and then they usually don't have drops. Uncharacteristic. Yeah. They were each held to like under 100 yards. From a receiver's perspective, what did you make of that?
They struggled a little bit, man. And Dallas defense, man, they're playing their tails off, man. You gotta credit, like I told Dez when I talked to him yesterday, man. You gotta credit the team. As much as I hate the Cowboys and I don't like them, you gotta credit the team when they're playing good. And they're playing lights out. The defense, I mean, Micah Parsons, oh my gosh. I mean, him. There's not too many people I see get by Lane Johnson. And last night, man, Micah did his thing, man. But the defense, bland. I mean, they're playing. Gilmore was playing good. The safety. I mean, all in all, man, I got a salute to the Cowboys. And coming from Deshaun Jackson, I don't do this. So I'm saluting, man, because they playing tails out right now. But I don't know, Eagles. We got to get our. You know what together. I ain't gonna say it, but you got to get your together, man. Let's go.
Are the Cowboys a team that you would never play for?
I got a lot of friends that are like diehard Cowboys fans, and they like, D, just tell Jerry. I'm gonna call Jerry up and go.
Do you have Jerry's phone number?
No, my boys be saying they don't have it, but I'm like, they be like, I'm gonna call them up and get you signed. I'm like, that's one team I don't really think I could play for. But like, if they called and have some money for me, some money.
Right.
We got the money. I don't know, man.
I think if you go back to the Eagles, you have to take that number 10 from the punter. The punter's wearing your number.
Man, do you see that?
Talk to me.
Come on. That's low-key disrespectful. That's low key. You got a punter wearing D-Jack's number, like, oh my gosh. But I mean, I guess I'm not as special as I thought I was, man. God dang.
You think it's just that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. And I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. No disrespect to the punter whose name evades me right now. What is it? I forget the name of the punter, but
they had a few guys in my number though. They had Minshew in my jersey. I mean, it's like, come on, when you see Philly Eagle 10, like it's only supposed to be.
I don't know.
You're
here saying you go play for Jerry Jones. I don't think they're ever giving you that 10 back.
Oh my God! I know. Shoot, now I might consider going to play for them now, right?
Oh my gosh, you're amazing, Deshaun. It's always great to see you. I know you got a big future in broadcasting whenever you feel ready, but you're chilling, watching games, having fun, and maybe we'll get some phone calls from some of these teams.
Yeah, we'll see. If we do, I'll give you some credit, man. I might give you a percent. You might be my agent.
That's amazing. We'll see. Tonight we've got the Dolphins playing. I talked to a couple NFL people today about the Tony thing, about whatever, and they said, or about the Chiefs rather, and they were saying, we give credit to Tyreek for his athleticism, how amazing he is, but we should give him more credit for what a smart football player he is, and how he doesn't make mistakes like that. Yeah,
I mean, shoot, Tyreek. He's definitely. I'm sure they regretting letting him go. I'm sure they regretting not bringing him back or making it work for him. But yeah, man, Tyreek, man, he's amazing, man. And he's definitely one thing I respect about Tyreek. He gives a lot of other people credit too, man. Like it's not all about him. It's in the disguise of everything that's going on. I see him shouting out a lot of players. And he gives people their flowers, man. So for a guy to be at the top of his game, to be one of the best doing it, man, that just shows that speaks volumes for him.
They got a big one up against the Titans tonight. We appreciate you, Deshaun Jackson, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
I appreciate you.
Unless you go to an NFL team.
One.
Hey, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe right here. Do it now for the latest from Up and Adams.